All right, happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome into the Arctic Air Studios. I hope your air is Arctic wherever you are, whether you're at home, whether you're still at the office, in the car, or truck going back to home, or whatever you're doing, man. If it ain't Arctic air, you need to call the bear. Callthebear.com. Winter is coming, by the way, and if your unit barely got through the summer, hey, winter ain't going to be good. You need to call the bear. Tell them we said hey. All right, we got a lot of stuff going on. Tuesday's best every Tuesday. You were on the website earlier theraiderland.com. Hope you enjoyed the hot links. We serve them up fresh and hot every morning. The coolest links around Raiderland and beyond. I figure if I like it, you're going to like it. We gave you the Tuesday's best topic category. Two favorite frozen pizzas. We're going to talk frozen pizzas tonight. We're also going to talk about Tahj Brooks. What makes him a great running back? What makes Tahj Brooks so good? You tell me why you think Tahj Brooks is one of the best college football running backs I've ever seen in a Red Raider uniform and maybe otherwise. All of that, we've got Texas Tech favored by 3. You good with that? Arizona State coming in. Interesting sports law. Georgia now saying, hey, you guys, it's the law in Georgia. If you want to pay them directly, Bulldogs, you can do it. We'll talk about why that matters around the rest of the country. And then peak East Texas, Texas high school football, one school in East Texas, 4 coaches this year already, 4 head coaches, 4 in the last week. Hi there, East Texas. You never fail. Hold on. Where are we going? You never fail to disappoint. Thank you, East Texas. Let's get it going in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You go to the website every day, you know you do. And then even when we're done here, you go back so you can share the wealth. That's right. We archive everything we do. So you can go put everything we do, including this show, on your Facebook page or Twitter or anything else. The Talking Box is on. Damon is on Twitter X. James giving us thumbs up on Facebook, letting us know the audio and video is good. Craig, the Talking Box is on. Now all we need is our YouTube people, and the YouTube channel is growing every day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you don't watch the broadcast or catch everything there. Sometimes we do things that might only appear there, but it grows what we do. It brings in a wider audience, and it's great for our wonderful sponsors, like The Reserve, a culinary tavern, 103rd and Quaker in Lubbock, Texas. The fall menu is coming out. Lots of cool stuff. Schnitzel, baby. They got schnitzel. They also have a great Saturday and Sunday brunch. So if you're looking to, maybe you don't want to tailgate Saturday, you want a nice little brunch, boom, hit The Reserve Saturday. Or maybe you tailgated so long, you need some, you know what I'm talking about. Sunday brunch, The Reserve, where you need to go. South Plains College, a great supporter of what we do in Raiderland. We support South Plains College. As you know, a ton of great Red Raiders started off as great Texans. Whether you are just out of high school, emerging college student, or maybe you're my age or whatever, you're doing some continuing education, or just things like cooking classes. You'd be amazed at everything they have to offer over there in Levelland. So check them out, South Plains College, where the road to Raiderland runs through Levelland. We thank them for being out there. Boot City, all the Western wear provided by Boot City, 197 mile outside the West Loop. They got a lot of different sales going on into the fall season, so check it out. Not wearing a Western shirt today. It's so hot right now. I decided if it's this hot, I'm going to wear an old College World Series shirt. Why not? And then every bit of communication, whether you are on Twitter or X, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook Live, United Supermarkets in Market Street, taking care of that today and every day, and taking care of you, whether you're on your way home, you go by in the morning, you want a breakfast burrito, breakfast pizza. Don't have to get frozen pizza there. Get breakfast pizza. United Supermarkets. All right, glad you're with us tonight. The early arrivals, again, you let us know the audio is good, the video is good. You share it, you invite your friends, and we go from there. So the two main topics today right off the bat. Why do you think what makes Tahj Brooks a great college football running back? Tell me the characteristics. Tell me the things. What you watch Tahj Brooks, where do you rank him right now? He's moving up the charts. I think 6 right now yardage, and he's moving up quickly. He's moving up quickly right now. What makes him good? Did he kind of sneak up on you last year a little bit? Maybe. You tell me. And then Tuesday's best every Tuesday, whether it's sports or otherwise, we'll give you a topic. You give us 2 best examples. I want to talk about frozen pizza tonight. Highly documented. I love pizza. We love Domino's Pizza, by the way. Domino's, great sponsor. And even the boys at Domino's will admit every now and then you just got to have a frozen pizza, man. You keep it in the freezer, you're ready to go. You get that. They get that. They understand that. They're cool with that. It's all right, man. Even the Domino's guys are like, yeah, frozen pizza? Hey, it's all right. What are your 2 favorites? The 2 best ones. So fire away on the comments section, whether, and we've got everybody in now from Facebook to YouTube to Twitter. So everybody's in, rocking and rolling. Get the comments going tonight. And then whatever else. Oh, by the way, any of y'all ever have a pager? Did it ever blow up on you? I love the Israeli Defense Forces, the Mossad, more and more every day. Well played, boys. We might tell true stories about pagers today. All right. So James talking about Tahj Brooks, patient and great cutback skills. And we talked about that extensively on our broadcast over the last year or so about the idea that I think Tahj Brooks sets up blocks and allows his linemen and allows the play to develop as well as any running back I've ever seen. A lot of James Gray in that. James Gray was very gifted at playing off blocks. There was where the play was designed to go, and he didn't pitter patter. He got up in there, but he also had just an innate ability to understand where the play was breaking to. You can't coach it. It's just in your brain or not. And those 2 running backs have done that better than any 2 I've ever seen in a Texas Tech uniform in my lifetime in watching. So what's my watching lifetime? I was young, but I watched James Hadnot move from tight end to tailback. And as Grant Taft said in 1978, I think James Hadnot is the best tight end in the Southwest Conference, and I wish they'd move him back. So James, right off the bat, talking about the patience. And we'll explain that as we go through. Ben, who knows a lot about football and even more about real estate, by the way, Middleton and Son, give him a look. Got great properties. Throw a property link out there if you want to, man. The reason he's good is because he never goes down on first contact. That plus his balance is incredible. See, and Ben's a guy who watched and was there with James Gray and understands that balance of a running back, that he is so centered over his feet. And I know you're going, well, that's balance. Well, that's a lot of running backs get ahead of themselves. They're either too downhill, they're too forward, running into the pile, and you lose all of your ability, all of your leg drive. When your chest and your head is farther over your hips, you lose all of that. Or the same thing if you're running too lateral and you lose that, and now you're leaning and all of your momentum is taking you that way, you've lost the ability to cut back. Ben talking about what he does with the balance is a great point here, that Tahj Brooks stays in the middle of his feet. And I think it helps not being a huge, tall, upright guy. You know, there have been some good, tall, upright guy running backs. Anthony Lynn was one of them, speaking of guys in our era, who had that ability to be an upright guy, but he could still cut, he could still move. Anthony Lynn, by the way, one of the most underrated players to ever come through Texas Tech. Don't get me started on Anthony Lynn. CJ says Brooks gives that extra effort when you think it's a loss. He makes it an extra few yards. He does that. He's great after contact. He has great leg drive, all those things. But what I think that allows him to do that is when he's making that when he's receiving that contact, he is prepared to move away from it. And sometimes he just runs over you. I love that. But go back, and if you have the ability to watch last week or, you know, some of his games, rarely are guys getting just a straight up shot on him. Coming in, straight up shot, stand you up. They're kind of coming off a side, they're an angle, because again, he's reading his blocks. He's feeling the play. I don't know how he does it. I truly don't. We're talking about Tahj Brooks. What makes him special? What makes him a great running back, in your opinion? We're also talking about frozen pizza tonight. Your two favorite frozen pizza. Hey, I don't make it up. I just do the show. All right. We just roll in here. We look at the sheet. Tuesday's best, two best frozen pizzas. All right. What do you got? Tahj Brooks. Why is he a great running back? Tech 3.5-point favorites, 3-point favorites. You guys good with that? And then the Georgia law today allowing the schools in Georgia to pay directly to the student athletes. Yes. Yes, I like I had to get some student athletes myself, said Cartman. It's big. We'll explain why as we go through tonight. And then ain't nothing more East Texas than Linden Kildare, and they're making news today nationally as they are on their fourth coach this year and their fourth coach in about 8 days. Yeah. East Texas, you never disappoint, man. Beautiful. Gotta love it. They've been outscored 143-6 first 3 games. They're on to the baseball coach now. Let's see. Extra. We're going Latin. I love the Latin drop. That's very good. He sets his physicality tone. He sets the physicality tone. By the way, I saw the physicality tones in 1997 in Deep Ellum. They're at the Bone. Great band. The physicality tones were awesome. They're New Bohemian, whatever they were down there is good. It sets the physicality tone for the offense. It's demoralizing for the defense. Yes. I mean, we talk about backs that get better as the game goes on, that relish the contact. Look at that man right there, John Riggins. We've seen him over the years. But what Brooks does, again, in the first quarter, he delivers the hits. He delivers the hits. He delivers the hits in the second, and he makes you pay a price for wanting to jump up there and tackle him. James Brooks, a great blocker on the blitz. He's pretty good at it. He's gotten better over the years. I think they're fairly confident with him in a blitz, pass pro type setup. You don't see a ton of that, these days. Maybe more than I give it credit for, but it's not like the olden days. But yeah, he's he's not afraid to stand in there and give your guy a chance. Jan, gotta go. Great grandson at Hutch playing at Lubbock Cooper tonight. Hutch, go Rangers, on you Rangers, on you Rangers. Plunge right through that line. Former Ranger myself. Shout out Coach Sauter, Coach Wilson, Coach Belk, and all Coach Brown, and all the great coaches I had. And happy birthday, Jan. I think it's Jan's birthday. If it's not, I might have missed it by a day. Either way, one of the great Tech fans, everybody who's on here right now, whether you've ever commented or not, you tell Jan happy birthday, damn it. You do it for me, and you tell her happy birthday. Let's go Rangers. One of the funniest things. Odd what you remember. So yeah, freshman football, but back in the day, freshman football, that was, at the upper edge of junior highs. So we're playing Evans, and we're out there. I think we were playing at Monterey, and we're standing there on the sideline. I'm standing next to Coach Sauter. I'm geeked up, ready to go, ready to get this ass kicking underway. And they played the school song, and I'd never really, not necessarily paid attention to or anything else. See, Ray's doing it right. Ben's doing it right. They play the school song, and there's like this pause. And I lift up my helmet, and I let out this rebel yell, and Coach Sauter looks at me and says, there's another verse. So let's go Rangers. Give them hell tonight. Green gold. Ray, is Papa Murphy's cheating to say frozen pizza? Boy, you guys would have to weigh in on that. And I love me some Papa Murphy's. They do a great job on that. It's take and bake. I would say technically not frozen pizza. It's not a DiGiorno. It's not a Totino's. It's not a Red Baron. Not falling into any of that. So I would say probably It's that in between category, but we respect them. We do. When my son was little, man, you go over to Papa Murphy's and get one of those little individual size deals. They could make it themselves and decorate it, put the stuff on there. That's big time stuff. That was on, Daddy Day, I'm like, oh, well, what are we going to feed him? Well, feed him this. It's going to be good. So yeah, happy birthday, Jen. James, as bad as the O line is, someone has to block. I'm going to stand up for the O line a little bit. A little bit. Obviously, they are in distress with injuries. Obviously, they are a work in progress as it is a mix and match offensive line. However, they obviously were better this last weekend than they were against Washington State. And I didn't think they were wretched against Washington State. I just didn't think Baron Morton stepped up and threw the ball. And sometimes you got to step up in the pocket with people flinging all around you and stand there and throw the ball. And I will also bail the offensive line out a little bit on some of the play calls 2 weeks ago that weren't great for the offensive line. So I'm going to stand up for the offensive line for one day. There you go. I give you offensive line. I stand up for the offensive line. Tonight we're talking about Tahj Brooks. What makes him great? What makes him a great college football running back? What is it that you see that you go, that's why he's great? And, depending on how old a Tech fan you are, kind of where do you rank him? It's okay. Where do you put him? Do you compare him to anyone? I say James Gray. It's an easy comparison, but it's a great comparison. Where do you compare? Where do you put him on all that stuff? Tech favored by 3. You guys like that line? Comfortable with that? A lot of people say, well, that's just home field advantage. Hey, got news for you. Vegas doesn't do home field advantage anymore. They don't. Definitely in pro football, they don't. The old 3-point home field advantage, that's dead and gone. Now, there are some places, and I'll give you a couple of tips here. There are about 3 fields in the NFL that get home field advantage. Seattle, Minnesota, a little bit Kansas City, a little bit Green Bay. That's it. That's it. Technology and everything else is taking over. Silent snap counts, you don't have it. College football is turning into the same thing, and now that we can radio in the plays up to 15 seconds, that's kind of taken over a little bit. The idea that you just automatically see 3 points or 3.5 points home field advantage, Tech probably, I need to check with my guys. Tech is probably about a 2-point, 1.5 to 2-point home field advantage in college football right now. Most places, not that much. So when I see 3.5, I go, all right, they're definitely thinking this is Tech. Pick them better. Do you like that? Roy, he's on the YouTube channel. We love everybody on the YouTube channel. Morton left the pocket too early at Wazoo a lot of the time. I will agree with that. And if he's not a young quarterback anymore, so you can't say young quarterback. But if he's got a tendency to do something, it is, I think, bail a little bit early, not move up, move out, move up. It's amazing what happens. And it's so, having been there, not on the college level, but your mind fights it as a quarterback to think, step up, because that's where everybody is. They're there, they're coming here. But your offensive linemen are fanning and moving them. So 9 times out of 10, you've got one guy, maybe 2 guys, if the pocket's halfway decent, that you can step here, you can step here. And then if you move up, they go there. But your mind doesn't work that way. Your mind tells you, get away from the big guys. They hurt you. And that's hard for quarterbacks to understand that and to condition themselves to move forward. Now, I was lucky. I was a horrible quarterback, and I was incredibly slow, so running was not an option. I got a lot of credit for standing in the pocket, and I'm like, where was I gonna go? I'm with Roy there, a little bit more up, a little bit hang in there. Give you guys a little chance to do what they do. Wendy is on the YouTube channel. We need to groom offensive linemen. Stop hitting the portal. Hoping we can bake a great cake. This is a great comment so far. Second year in a row, the offensive line is a message. I think a mess. Probably. Recruit and develop. Great show. Thank you. All right, and thank you for saying great show. I had nothing to do with it. Yes, yes, and kinda. You want to the portal allows you now to get old and stay old. What it does not allow is when you bring in players through the portal is to have continuity. So we want two things, and we're working divergently against each other right now. We want old guys who played and have shown the ability to start and do that stuff. We want to bring them in because it's hard. Recruiting offensive linemen is hard. Hitting on offensive linemen is hard. And growing them up 3, 4, 5 years, the old days of Richburg and Lynn Wright and Charlie Odorn and all that, all right, it's hard to do. So we got two things going on here. These guys are vastly experienced, but they're inexperienced playing with each other. And nothing requires more continuity than an offensive line, not defensive line, not secondary, not quarterback receivers. Offensive line requires continuity. What do we see in the NFL? The better offensive lines, continuity. So what Wendy's saying right here is absolutely right. And what the teams now are trying to do, from Florida State to Texas Tech to Georgia to everybody else, is utilize that portal to have, because offensive linemen are inherently at their best in college when they're juniors and seniors. It's the rare player who is out there as a freshman or a sophomore, because these guys, they're full-grown men playing at 22 and 23 years old versus 18, 19, 20. And we get that. So to get the full-grown guys and upgrade, we got to go portal. It cost us on continuity. Where's the happy medium? Don't know. And that's why if I'm a recruiting coordinator at college right now, I still sign every year 5 offensive linemen, minimum 5 offensive linemen, probably 6 or 7. I would rather oversign offensive linemen because I can go find a receiver, I can go find a defensive back now, but I would rather oversign offensive linemen. And if 2 out of a class hit every cycle, if 2 out of a class hit, stick and stay and turn into good players, where am I in a couple of years? By the way, Wendy just is talking about why Matt Wells got fired and why Joey McGuire got hired on not growing players. All right. Seemed like less screenplays, less tempo, attack the middle more against UNT. This carries on to this week and beyond. I think so. So we'll go back to last week, and it was that odd stack. We used to call it triple cloud, whatever we want to do. It's real susceptible with 2 highs coming down hard for play action passing, which they committed to, and they were able to attack the middle doing that, and they were able to do more with that. The easy thing to say is you had Tahj Brooks back, and by committing to the run with Brooks, it opened up everything. I would tell Zach Kitley, whether Brooks is there, and we hate that Cameron Valdez is out for the year, whether it's Dickey or anybody else, run the ball early, run the ball off, and commit to it. Demand, whether they're playing an odd front, an even front, or anything else, that they've got to commit to it. Whether it's a single high safety or anything, you have great tight ends. You have great ability to come underneath with your receivers and take advantage of that. That can be replicated every game. So you've got a little different look with Arizona State this week compared to what you saw last week with North Texas on that front. But I think you commit to doing what you did, and that's who you are, and that's what you're good at. Roy Hendrickson, Patton will look pretty good at least, yeah. DiGiorno thin crust is good, but with the price of frozen pizza, you can get a fresh one cheaper. Yeah, you can go to Domino's right now, Domino's.com, and do better. I understand that, but every now and then we got to talk about frozen pizza. Here you go, frozen pizza hack. Have you guys ever done this? And you can give me your favorite frozen pizza hacks before we get out of here. And I want to hear more about what you love about Tahj Brooks, why you like him. Anything else that's on your mind? Stuff we get to, stuff we don't get to. tomorrow morning, the website, theraiderland.com, over underrated right Wednesday. But yeah, okay, so I haven't done this in a while because I'm a married man and rarely am I left to my own devices. Take 2 frozen pizzas. This is so good. All right. Totino's is good. We're going to just use the Totino's, right? So you got the rectangular Totino's. Get the hamburger or get the all meat or anything you want to do. So you get that, and we have it sitting there, and it's frozen, and we're not doing anything with it yet because we're gonna make some macaroni and cheese, microwave macaroni and cheese. You know, boom, yeah. We're gonna put that macaroni and cheese on top of that pizza. Wild Mike's is really pretty good for $9 and get a big ass pizza. We can go get down on some Wild Mike's. That's good frozen pizza. So now I've got the macaroni and cheese on top of the, let's say just hamburger or all meat pizza, whatever you want. Then we get another Totino's pizza, rectangular in style, right? And it might be pepperoni, it might be anything, whatever you want. So we take that one and we set it on top of the other one, except we flip it. We flip it so it's toppings down. So we have one pizza with the toppings up, and then the macaroni and cheese all on top of that. And we take the other pizza and we set it on top of that. I highly recommend also when you do this, take some fat-free olive oil spray or something and spray the what would normally be the bottom of the crust, which is now the top of the crust on the pizza we've set on top, and spray that because it's gonna try to burn on you, and it's gonna help. Trust me on this. Taking the sprayer back to the neighborhood. We ain't even killed all the spiders. All the spiders. So now you put those two on top with the macaroni in the middle, macaroni and cheese in the middle, and you can add other different things to it. I put little cubes of ham in there, bacon bits, all sorts of stuff, and you just lightly press. We don't mash. We don't want to mash. We lightly press. We spray the olive oil on top of the top one, and we go for a little bit longer. Say it's 18 to 22. We want to go 25, 27 on this thing. Pull it out. You're welcome. Thank you. That's what I do. If you've never done it, try it. Your kids will freaking love it. Dads, granddads, got kids, do that little thing with the frozen pizzas. There you go. Public school rectangle pizza was awesome. Pretty sure that was frozen. So Aramark or Chartwell. Yeah, you know, I was a kid in the 70s and the early 80s when we had that. And you get like the little rectangle pizza, which is awesome. Applesauce and broccoli. How about a 4-cheese cauliflower? If you need help, just ask. You know, if you need help, just ask. You don't have to put stuff like that out there, David. That sounds like something Lauren would post or something. Well, my kids like the 4-cheese cauliflower. Actually, no, probably not. Last shot. We got about 3 minutes. What makes Tahj Brooks a great running back? Tune in tonight. Came back 28. David Collier, who just now gets here. You got soccer. You got I think Kenny Perry maybe was talking today. A little bit on the defensive side of the ball. You never know what's going to show up in Red Raider Nation. We did not. Okay. Dang it. We didn't get to the Georgia law is huge from an NIL standpoint, and I'll talk about it more tomorrow. Here's why. It legalizes Georgia schools paying directly no matter what the NCAA says. And the NCAA can't usurp state law or federal law. So it's just one more step closer to creating a collectively bargained deal, which you may see in the SEC. You may see schools start at first. That if you want to go play at Georgia or Alabama, you're going to enter into a union that works specifically with those schools that will collectively bargain, and they'll have a quote salary cap for the school, and you'll come in with your, just like the NFL, and it will be, you gotta, if you want to work here at Georgia, you got to join this union. It's pretty crazy. Can't believe you picked the Falcons last night. Should have placed a bet on that. Hey, I'm going to give you guys a little free advice right now. This is free. I don't do this all the time. All right. If you're into sports wagering, it's legal where you are. SharpAngleSyndicate.com. I am a paid consultant with SharpAngleSyndicate.com. Let's see. We were 12-3 Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 12-3. We gave you the Falcons last night. We gave you that on the on the side, and our subscribers, our clients, we're also giving a little nugget on the just on the win on the money line. 12-3, 7-2 first weekend of NFL football. So that's 12-3 and 7-2. If anybody is out there where you can engage in this kind of activity, and you're looking to use a tout service that'll help you with your picks and your plays, as low as $70 can get you in. My personal code, NBW20. NBW20 will get you in. I've never done this before for you people. I'm giving it to you now. This group, Sharp Angle Syndicate, go to sharpanglesyndicate.com. They are 57% year-to-date winners. If you don't think that's good, you don't know anything about sports betting. That's across all sports. That's all through the summer. They issue picks every day. Now, here's the cool thing. You don't have to bet every day. You don't have to bet every game, whether it's picked by a tout service or otherwise. But you know what they have to do in Vegas? They have to hang a number every day on every game. You have the advantage. Remember that, Trace. You always have the advantage. They got to hang a number. You don't have to buy it. So, yeah. SharpAngleSyndicate.com. Use promo code NBW20. And I see people out there paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month for picks. I see up to $1,000 a month. And I'm not saying those people are getting ripped off, but you don't have to pay that kind of money to be a winner. Cash and tickets is what it's all about. That said, Trace, the outright win on that was pretty junky because it took the Philadelphia Eagles going completely brain dead, throwing the ball to Saquon Barkley, where it was 0.7% chance at that moment that the Falcons could come back and win. The only thing that could allow them to win would be the Eagles going brain dead and calling a pass play where it could be dropped. Oh, it was dropped. Who was it dropped by? Saquon Barkley, who has the highest drop rate of any running back over the last 3 seasons. Some would say that's because they throw to him a lot, but he don't catch it a lot. And the only way that that could have opened it up was by coaches going stupid, stopping the clock at that moment with an incomplete pass. Even if you run the ball, you create another 40 seconds of clock, timeout, and you still kick the field goal. But now Atlanta basically has no chance to drive down the field and do what they did. So everybody who thinks that you're not nearly as smart as NFL coaches and college coaches, I give you what the Eagles did last night. Good Lord. Just horrible. Roy, I'm definitely taking Tech for the -3. Feel like Tech playing at home is almost worth 10 since we play so much better at home. It ain't worth 10, and I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take that approach. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And he throws his offensive coordinator under the diesel bus after the game. No, it ain't 10 points. It ain't that much. And I think this is going to be a really, really tight, close game. They do what you do, and they do what you do well. They have a running quarterback, and they have a running back. Washington State didn't have a running back. They had a running quarterback. So, hey, chill out maybe just a little bit on that -3. When it goes to 2.5, when the Arizona State money shows up later on this week, then we can have a conversation. All right, I want you guys to do. That's why you can be optimistic here. I'm talking about your wallet. Your wallet ain't optimistic. Your wallet doesn't buy into that. Wait for the 2.5. They hang the 2.5, then maybe might feel good about it. All right, theraiderland.com in the morning. Everybody go there. I want everybody to share this with your friends, with family, people you don't even know. Stop them on the street and say, "Are you watching Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland? Are you seeing when, David Collier shows up, jumps in? You better be." Share it with people. theraiderland.com. See you tomorrow.